The year was 2137. Earth was not at war. People were busy with their lives, working, studying, scrolling on their screens. Cities were full of lights. Machines did most of the work now. It was a time of peace. But peace ended one night. It started with a strange flash in the sky. No sound. Just a sharp white light that appeared for only 1 second. It looked like a star exploded, but there was no noise, no shaking, nothing. Then everything went dark. All the satellites stopped working. Phones died. The internet was gone. Planes crashed. People screamed. In just 5 minutes, the whole world changed. In a small city, a 17-year-old boy named Zane looked up. He had been playing a game on his tablet. Now the screen was black. No power. No signal. His little sister cried beside him. Their parents were outside staring at the sky. Zane followed them. What he saw made him forget how to breathe. Black shapes were moving across the clouds. Huge ships. Quiet. Floating. Unnatural. They had no wings. No engines. Just dark metal. Bodies with glowing lines. Like giants made of shadow. One of them passed right over their city. It blocked the moonlight like an eclipse. People thought it was a trick, or maybe a dream. Some prayed. Some recorded with dead phones. Nothing worked. No one knew what to do. Then came the voice. Not from the sky, not from the ships, from inside their minds. Everyone on Earth heard it. A deep, cold voice that spoke in perfect English, and in every other language at once. Do not be afraid. You are now under our protection. Your skies belong to us. Your safety is our priority. Kneel and live. People dropped to the ground in shock. Some fainted, some ran. Others just stood, confused and scared. But that was only the beginning. That night, electricity disappeared in most parts of the world. Drones shaped like flying spiders came out of the ships and flew over cities. They did not attack. They just watched, like they were scanning everything, counting people, recording faces. Every major government tried to fight back. They launched fighter jets, fired missiles, used secret weapons. Nothing worked. The missiles stopped midair and fell like stones. Jets lost control and crashed. Ships sank in their own oceans. The world's strongest armies were useless. In an underground room in New Mexico, 4 hackers were hiding. They had old tech, things not connected to satellites. They used wires and generators to keep power alive. One of them, a girl named Kira, caught something, a signal, a hidden alien broadcast. It was not meant for humans. It was between the ships. The words were not in English, but Kira's old AI translator began working on it. The message was cold, robotic, and terrifying. Stage 1 complete. Population control successful. Begin Phase 2. Implant and divide. Human obedience level 34%. Resistance acceptable. Target leaders. Prepare mental link. Kira's hands shook. They're not here to protect us, she whispered. They want to control us. Meanwhile, strange bracelets started appearing on people's wrists, glowing bands of metal. No one knew how they got there. People simply woke up wearing them. They couldn't be removed. They were smooth, cold, and seemed to pulse with energy. People who wore the bands became quiet, calm. They followed the flying drones without fear. They obeyed orders without question. Something was happening to their minds. Zane saw his own father wearing one. His eyes looked empty. Zane backed away. His sister hid behind him. "Dad?" he asked. The man didn't answer. He only smiled and said, "Do not resist. They bring peace." Zane ran. The sky now had hundreds of ships. They floated like black sharks above cities, oceans, and forests. They didn't speak again. They just watched and waited. That night, people around the world saw something else. A massive ring-shaped ship appeared above the Atlantic Ocean. It was the size of a country. Its center glowed red. Everyone felt something. Pain. like a needle, in the mind. A burning thought, a command. "You are ours." People screamed. Some fell. Some fainted. Some stood still and began walking toward the nearest drone without a word. The invasion was silent but complete. Earth was no longer free, but not everyone would kneel. In a cold, dark bunker, Kira looked at her team. "We're not going down. Like this," she said. "We'll fight. We'll find their weakness. If they think Earth is weak, they're in for a surprise." Somewhere in space, deep inside the giant ring ship, an alien commander watched Earth. Its eyes glowed blue. It smiled with rows of teeth. "Begin the harvest." The ships did not leave. They stayed, floating above Earth like shadows that never moved. There was no war, no explosions, only silence. A deep, heavy silence that made people feel small and helpless. It had been 7 days since the sky broke open. The alien ships were everywhere, above cities, deserts, oceans, even deep forests. People waited for something to happen. They hoped the worst was over, but the worst hadn't even begun. Zane and his sister Isla were hiding. Their parents were no longer the same. The glowing bands had taken them. They acted like strangers, now. Always smiling, always calm, always obeying. Zane had seen his neighbors walk out of their homes and line up in the streets waiting for drones. When the spider-like machine scanned them, they nodded and followed without question. Like puppets, Zane had never felt so alone. He had only one plan: run. He carried a small backpack with food, water, and a flashlight. Isla held his hand tightly. They moved through dark streets hiding in shadows. The city had no power. Cars didn't work. Roads were empty. People had disappeared. Above them, drones hummed softly, scanning every corner. In other parts of the world, the same thing was happening. In London, soldiers tried to fight back, but their guns jammed. Their radios stopped working. Within minutes, the alien drones surrounded them. No bullets were fired. Instead, a strange sound filled the air, like a deep bell. The soldiers dropped their weapons. They dropped to their knees. Some cried. Others just stared at nothing. In Tokyo, thousands stood in line beneath a hovering ship. A bright blue light covered them. The light changed their faces. They became quiet. Then, like robots, they walked into black boxes that flew upward and vanished. No screams, no fight, just silence. Back in New Mexico, Kira and her hacker group called themselves the Signal Now. They had built their hideout inside an old mine shaft using wires and battery-powered tech from the past. Their AI system, Archive, was still weak, but it helped them intercept alien messages. One night, Archive translated a message. Stage 2. Mental alignment 52%. Begin memory editing. Kira's eyes widened. They're not just watching, they're changing us. One of her teammates, an old man named Rafiq, nodded. It's like a virus. Not in the body, in the brain. Kira stood. We need to show the world, we need to fight back. But first, we need someone who remembers what freedom feels like. At that same moment, Zion and Isla reached the edge of the city. Zion had heard about a safe place in the mountains, a place with no machines, no signals, just people who refused to kneel. He didn't know if it was real, but he had no choice. As they moved through a tunnel, a group of masked people stopped them. Guns pointed, lights flashed. "Who are you?" a voice asked. Zane raised his hands. "We're not chipped. We're clean. We're running." The masked man lowered his weapon slowly. "You're lucky," he said. "You just found the last free zone in the West." Zion and Isla were taken to a hidden camp. There were maybe 40 people. Some were old soldiers. Some were scientists. Some were kids like him. Everyone looked tired, but their eyes were clear. They were still human. A woman named Dr. Lena took Zion aside. "You're not the only one running," she said. "The whole world is falling. But we're building something. A signal. A message. A spark." She showed him a small screen. On it was a broken alien drone taken down with an old EMP weapon. Inside was a chip, a memory core. "We found something," she said. "Something they don't want us to see." Zane looked closely. The screen showed a map, not of Earth, but of space. Lines connected different planets. Many of them were crossed out. Only Earth remained untouched. Lena's voice turned cold. "They've done this before. We're not the first. We're just the last." Zane felt a chill down his spine. "Then, we need to stop them here." Lena nodded. "Yes, but first we need to understand how they win." Across the sky, the alien mothership pulsed again, sending waves of sound too low for human ears. Those with the glowing wristbands looked up, in unison, and smiled. They were ready for the next step. The aliens thought they had won. Most of Earth's people were under their control. Cities were quiet. No one fought back. The flying ships ruled the skies, and their spider drones ruled the streets. Those who resisted were either taken or silenced. But, deep under the ground in a dark and dusty base, something old was waking up. It was not human, but it was made by humans. And it remembered everything. Zine, Isla, and Dr. Lena sat inside a cold underground lab in the mountain camp. The broken alien drone was on the table, its memory chip glowing faintly. Behind them, an old military computer hummed to life. It had been offline for over 80 years. "This is from the old world," Lena said. "Before the satellites, before the internet was taken." The others watched as a green screen showed a strange logo. "Project Archive, ours status." Dormant Zane asked, "What is Archive?" Lena looked serious. "It's not a weapon. It's something smarter. A military AI built during the last Earth War, long before the aliens came. It was locked away because people feared it. Too dangerous. Too powerful." Rafik, the old man from the signal, added, "It knows everything. All battles. All strategies. And maybe it knows how to beat these things." Lena typed on the old keyboard. "Let's wake it up." She entered the activation code. The screen flickered. Then, a calm robotic voice spoke. "System online, human. Contact detected. Access level civilian. Please confirm intent." Lena replied, "We need help. Earth has been invaded. We are losing. Can you help us fight back?" The voice paused. "Analyzing current global status. Alien presence confirmed. Civilian resistance minimal. Control level critical. Threat level extinction. One solution remains." Zane leaned forward. "What solution?" The voice of Archive responded, "Humanity must evolve. Your enemy cannot be beaten with weapons alone. To win, you must change." In another part of Earth, the alien commander sat in his ship. He watched images from across the planet. Humans walking in lines. Cities silent. No resistance. Still, he felt uneasy. "Show me the western zone," he said. A drone feed appeared, showing the mountains, the forest, and static. Something was blocking the signal. "Unacceptable," the alien hissed. "Send a scout unit. Erase whatever lives there." Back at the mountain base, Archive revealed more. Years ago, Earth had captured a scout ship from deep space. It had crashed in Alaska. Governments kept it secret. They studied the alien tech and learned one important thing. The invaders were not gods, not unstoppable. They had weaknesses, but humans were not ready back then. They hid the knowledge. They feared panic. Now all of that was inside Archive. Zane asked, "Can we use their tech against them?" Archive replied, "Yes, but the cost is high. Human minds are weak for such power. You must be trained, modified, reinforced." Dr. Lena looked uneasy. "You're talking about turning people into machines?" "No," Archive said. "Something more. Something between flesh and metal. A new kind of soldier. Project Iron Soul. A secret program started long ago, never completed. The idea: to create warriors who could fight like machines but think like humans. They stopped it," Lena said. "It was too risky." Zane stood. "We don't have a choice anymore. If they're changing us, Then we have to change first. Archive showed a hidden room on the map, a sealed lab beneath the desert. Inside were the blueprints, the tools, the core. Zane looked at the others. Let's bring Iron Soul back. Far above them, the alien scout ship approached the mountains. It sent down smaller drones, fast and sharp, like silver insects. One of the drones flew into the forest and found the camp. It sent a message. Resistance detected. Terminate. The ground shook. Explosions hit the edge of the camp. Flames, screams, people running. Zayn grabbed Isla and pulled her toward the bunker. Lena shouted, "Get to the core, get to Archive." Drones swarmed in. The fighters returned fire using old weapons, shotguns, flamethrowers, EMP grenades. It wasn't enough. Zane reached the lower room and slammed the door shut. Behind him, he could hear shouting, screams, then silence. The lights flickered. Archive spoke again. "Survivors detected, defense mode active. You must begin the transformation." Zayn looked at his sister. "What does that mean?" A wall slid open. Inside, a chair, wires, metal gloves, a glowing helmet. "You will be the first," Archive said. "If you fail, Earth fails." Zayn took a deep breath. "Then let's begin." The room was cold, silent, full of old machines, wires, and metal chairs. Zayn stood in front of the strange machine Archive had revealed. Isla held his hand tightly. "You will be the first," Archive said. "The process is painful, but you must survive." Zayn looked at his little sister. Her face was pale, her eyes full of fear. "I'll come back," he whispered. "Stronger." Isla nodded slowly, trying to be brave. Zayn sat down in the metal chair. The machine moved on its own. Metal arms locked around his wrists and ankles. A helmet lowered onto his head. Lena watched from a glass window. Her voice shook. "Zayn, you don't have to do this." "I do," he said. "We can't run anymore." Above the mountains, alien drones circled like hawks. The first attack had failed to destroy the hidden camp. Now they were sending hunters. Smarter, faster, and far more deadly. The alien commander watched from orbit. "Resistance will be erased. Begin ground sweep." Inside the lab, the Iron Soul process began. The machine pumped cold nanometal into Zayn's bloodstream. It bonded with his nerves, bones, and muscles. His body shook. His heart raced. His mind burned. "Neural link complete," Archive said. "Pain level, 89%. Vital signs, holding." Zayn screamed once, then bit down hard. He saw flashes of war, history, lost memories, and strange blueprints. The system was uploading everything into his brain. He passed out. Hours later, Zayn opened his eyes. He felt different, stronger, faster, clearer. His arms had new strength. His skin looked normal, but under it, tiny machines hummed like silent warriors. He could hear every sound, even the ones no one else could. He stood. The metal restraints broke like paper. Archive spoke. "Welcome, Unit 0. You are the first Iron Soul." Zayn turned to Lena. "Did it work?" She stared at him. "Yes, it did." Outside, the camp was under full attack. Drones with laser cutters and electric nets dropped from the sky. Fighters ran, firing old weapons, trying to hold the line, but they were losing. Then Zayn walked out of the lab. The nearest drone turned to scan him. It didn't get the chance. Zayn moved like lightning. He jumped 10 feet high, landed on the drone, and ripped it apart with his bare hands. Everyone stopped and stared. "What are you?" one fighter asked. Zayn stood tall. "Human. Just upgraded." The battle turned. Zayn led the defenders. He moved fast, struck hard, and never missed. The alien drones tried to adapt, but his new body was connected to Archive's combat systems. He knew their moves before they made them. Ayla watched her brother fight like a superhero. For the first Time and days people started to believe they could win. After the attack ended, only 10 drones were left standing. Zane destroyed them all. The camp had survived, but the war was far from over. Zane returned to the lab. "We need more," he said. "More iron souls." Lena nodded. "We have parts for 5 more. After that, we'll need help." Zane turned to Archive. "Can we train others?" "Yes, but not everyone will survive the process. Only those with strong will." Zane looked around the room. "Then we find the strongest." Meanwhile, in a giant alien control room above Earth, the commander slammed a fist onto the table. "Impossible," he growled. "One human destroyed 30 units. Another alien spoke. "He is no longer just human." The commander's eyes glowed. "Then we adjust. Prepare a mind reaper. We will break him from the inside." That night, Zane sat alone, staring at the stars. He knew the enemy would not stop. But something had changed. They were afraid now. Not of Earth's weapons, not of bombs, but of one human who refused to kneel. The first Iron Soul. Isla sat beside him. "Do you think we can win?" Zane didn't answer right away. He looked at his hands. He could still feel the pain. Still, hear the voices in his head. But something else had grown inside him. Hope. "We fight," he said finally. "We don't stop. We don't kneel. We rise." Far away, a deep space signal was sent. A secret human colony, long forgotten, received the message. It read, "Earth fights back. Join us." The stars were silent, but something evil was coming from them. A weapon like no other. Not made of metal, not built to kill the body, but the mind. They called it the Mind Reaper. In the alien mothership, deep above Earth's orbit, the commander stood before a tall black container. Inside it was a creature unlike the drones or hunters. It had no shape, just swirling energy like dark fog in a glass prison. "Release the Mind Reaper," the commander said. "But it is unstable," the alien technician warned. "It could destroy." "Do it." The Iron Soul must be broken. A deep humming filled the room. The container unlocked. The fog creature drifted out, whispering sounds that weren't words, but memories. Human thoughts, screams, dreams, pain. The Mind Reaper was not here to fight. It was here to infect. In the mountain base, Zane sat with Lena and Rafik. His body had healed fast since the Iron Soul process, but something inside him felt strange. "I've been having dreams," Zane said quietly. Lena looked at him. "Dreams?" He nodded. "They're not mine. They feel placed, like someone's whispering to me at night." Archive spoke up. "Warning. Neural activity spike detected. Possible external influence." Rafik frowned. "They found a way into your mind?" Zane stood up. "Then we fight inside the mind." But that was easier said than done. That night, while everyone slept, Zane stayed awake. His body didn't need as much rest anymore. He walked the edge of the camp, checking defenses. Then suddenly, the air changed. Everything became quiet. Blinked, and the world around him was different. He stood in the middle of a burning city, skyscrapers falling, children crying, people begging him for help. He saw Ayla screaming, trapped under rubble. He ran toward her, but his legs wouldn't move. He screamed, and a voice answered, "You will fail. You cannot save them. You are still weak." Zane turned. The fog was there, shifting, moving, whispering. "Who are you?" Zane demanded. "I am your truth, your fear, your guilt. I am the end of hope." The Mind Reaper. It wasn't just showing Zane visions. It was digging deep, finding his worst fears and using them as weapons. Zane fell to his knees. His vision blurred. He saw Earth burning, Isla gone. Himself alone, he screamed again, but no sound came out. Outside in the real world, Isla found Zane lying on the ground, shaking. "Help!" she cried. "Something's wrong with him." Lena and Rafik rushed over. Zane's eyes were open, but he didn't move. "His brainwaves are wild," Lena said. "He's trapped in something, a mental prison." Archive replied, "Intrusion confirmed. Hostile psychic presence detected." Rafik looked at Zane. "We need to break the link. Fast." Archive spoke again. "There is one way, a neural echo. Someone close to him. Must enter the dream." Ayla stood up. "I'll go." Lena shook her head. "It's too dangerous." "He's my brother," Ayla said. "I'm going." Ayla was connected to the system. A simple headset, built using old and alien tech, linked her mind to Zane's. Her eyes closed. Inside the dream world, Isla appeared in the burning city. Everything was dark, the sky was red, buildings were broken. She heard Zane's voice screaming in the distance. "Zane," she called. "It's me, I'm here." No answer. Then the fog appeared again. The Mind Reaper. "Two minds are better than one," it whispered. "Double the pain. Double the fear." The fog rushed at her. Isla closed her eyes. And then, something strange happened. A light. A soft blue glow formed around her, the same glow Zane had after his Iron Soul upgrade. "Unknown reaction," the Reaper hissed. Ayla shouted into the smoke. "You can't win. We're stronger together." Zane opened his eyes in the dream. He saw her, standing firm. No fear. Suddenly the lies faded. The burning city shook. Zane stood up. "You made one mistake." "What mistake?" the Reaper growled. "You entered the mind of a human who refuses to break." Zane clenched his fists. The dream cracked like glass. Together, Zane and Isla ran through the fog. Zane punched it, once, twice, until it shattered into light. In the real world, both of them gasped and woke up. The link was broken. The Mind Reaper was gone, but not dead. Lena helped them sit up. "You two just fought a creature no one's ever beaten before." Zane breathed hard. "It'll come back. Stronger." Archive added, "It now knows your minds are protected, but it will seek others." Rafik looked worried. "We need more Iron Souls, and we need allies." Zane stood slowly. "Then it's time we reach out to the ones we lost." Lena asked, "You mean the old Earth colonies?" He nodded. "Yes, the humans in space, the ones who escaped years ago. We call them. We bring them home." High above in deep space, a signal shot out from Earth, louder than before. It reached a quiet station near the moon, then a ship, then another, until hundreds of red lights turned green, a message repeated on every screen. "Earth is rising. Come home. The war has begun." For years, Earth had been silent. The alien invaders had cut every signal, every satellite, every voice that once reached the stars. But now, that silence was broken. A signal sent from the mountains of Earth raced into the dark. It carried a simple message. Earth fights back. All survivors return home. Far beyond Earth's skies, hidden in the shadows of planets and old space stations, humans heard the call. Colonies that had been forgotten. Ships that had been hiding. Outposts that had gone dark years ago. They heard the voice of Earth, and they remembered. Captain Aria Voss, commander of the deep space ship Freedom, Blade, stared at her screen. Her crew watched as the message played again. "It's real," Aria said quietly. "Earth is alive." "But we thought Earth was lost," her co-pilot said. "No signals, no hope." Aria stood up. "If someone is fighting, then we answer." She turned to her team. "Prepare for jump. Set course for home." Back on Earth, Zayn stood with Lena, Isla, and Rafik. The mountain camp was recovering after the Mind Reaper attack. They had repaired old machines, built new weapons, and upgraded 2 more Iron Soul fighters. But Earth was still outnumbered. Zane watched the sky. Do you think they heard us? Before Lena could answer, Archive spoke. Incoming transmissions, 5, nope, now 10. All human, all from space. Everyone froze. Then cheers broke out. Within hours, the sky above Earth sparkled with strange flashes, bright lights, silent jumps from deep space. The first fleet had arrived. 3 massive human ships hovered above the mountain range. They were old, dented, and worn, but powerful. Zine and Ayla stared in awe. They came, Ayla whispered. They really came. Captain Arya Voss landed at the camp with her team. She stepped out in full armor, black and silver with the Earth emblem on her chest. Zane walked up to greet her. Zane, Iron Soul Unit. Captain Voss, Commander of Freedom Blade. They shook hands. No one believed Earth would rise again, she said. Zane smiled. We stopped believing in luck, started believing in pain. Arya looked around at the fighters, the drones, and the underground labs. She nodded. Then let's turn that pain into fire. The next few days changed everything. The space fleet shared their tech, new weapons, star maps, shields, Archive linked with the ship AI systems. Now Earth had a real network again. Iron Soul soldiers trained harder, faster. The transformation process was improved. More volunteers survived. Even Ayla started basic combat lessons. I want to be ready, she told Zane. But the aliens were not blind. From their mothership, the commander watched Earth's sky light up. More humans, from space. They multiply like insects, one alien said. No, the commander replied. They adapt, that is worse. He activated a black screen. An image of a massive cannon appeared, a weapon orbiting Earth's dark side. Begin charging the world cleaver. If we can't break their bodies, we'll burn the whole planet, in the air. A secret moon base once forgotten. A small group of humans picked up the alien energy signal. One of them, a young woman named Jade, gasped. They're going to fire something big. It could destroy Earth. Another man replied, Then we can't wait, we have to warn them. Back on Earth, Archive picked up strange energy readings. Warning, orbital weapon detected, class, planetary level cannon. Zane clenched his fist. They're going to destroy Earth. Captain Voss spoke quickly. We'll take a team to space, find that cannon, blow it up. Zane shook his head. I'm going too. You've never left the planet. I've never had a reason. Now I do. Voss smiled. Suit up, Iron Soul. That night a small fleet left Earth. Zane, Ayla, and a new Iron Soul named Danya joined Captain Voss and her best pilots. Their mission, find the world cleaver. Destroy it. Save Earth. As the stars surrounded them, Zane looked down one last time at Earth. Ayla sat beside him, quiet but focused. He said, You don't have to come. I do, she replied. You saved me. Now I help save you. The ship moved fast, dodging debris, flying through the dark side of Earth's orbit. Suddenly, Danya shouted, I see it. The world cleaver, a huge spinning cannon the size of a city, charged with red energy, guarded by alien ships. Zane's eyes narrowed. We'll only get one shot. Captain Voss called the crew. All units prepare for attack. And then, without fear, the human ships charged forward, straight into enemy fire. Space was silent, but war was coming. Zane stood at the window of the command deck watching the massive alien weapon, the world cleaver. It looked like a dark spinning blade floating above Earth's orbit. Its core glowed red, charging. One shot could burn the whole planet. Captain Arya Voss gave the order. All ships begin the attack, protect the Iron Souls, they're our strike team. 3 human ships, Freedom Blade, Dawnhammer, and Hopefire, raced toward the alien weapon. Dozens of smaller fighters launched from their sides, flying like birds into the dark. Behind the world cleaver, alien defense ships powered up. Spikes of blue light fired across space, explosions lit the sky. Shields holding. One pilot shouted, We're outnumbered. Another warned. Zane's voice was calm. Then we hit harder. Inside the launch bay, Zane, Isla, and Danya, suited up, they wore dark armor built from Iron Soul tech, strong, light, connected to Archive and the fleet systems. This is the real test, Danya said. No more training. Zane looked at Isla. You sure? I'm not leaving you again, she said, holding her helmet. The bay doors opened. A soft female voice spoke in their ears. Iron Souls, you are clear for jump. Zane jumped first, straight into space. They flew across the stars using jetpacks connected to their suits. Fast, controlled. Alien drones fired at them, but Zane spun midair and shot two down with his plasma rifle. Danya smashed through another, drone using her energy blades. Ayla fired a shock pulse that shut down an enemy fighter. They reached the outer shell of the World Cleaver. Zane landed with a hard thud. Let's break their toy. Inside the World Cleaver, red lights blinked everywhere. The machine was alive, its systems connected to the alien mothership. The commander watched from afar. The Iron Soul has reached the core, he hissed. Another alien spoke. Shall we detonate now? No. Let him see failure. Let him taste it. Zane and his team entered the cannon's control chamber. It looked like a cathedral of wires, giant cables running up the walls, spinning around a red energy ball. Archive's voice came through. You must overload the core, place charges and escape in under 5 minutes. Danya moved quickly. Placing the first charge, Isla placed hers near the control hub. Zane reached the core, but then stopped. He heard something, a whisper. You cannot win. The Mind Reaper. Somehow. It was still alive. Suddenly the fog returned, rising from vents in the floor. Cold. Whispering. Zane's mind started to slip. He saw Ayla dying. Earth burning. Himself. Alone. No, he growled. Not this time. He slammed his fists together, activating the Iron Soul mental barrier. The fog cracked. The Reaper screamed. I will return, you can't silence thought. Zane fired into the core, burning the fog away. Then stay silent. Forever. All charges were set. Zane shouted, Go, out the way we came. They flew through the narrow exit tunnels. Alien drones tried to stop them, but the human fleet covered their escape. Captain Voss gave the final order. Detonate on my mark. Zane's voice came through. Mark. The explosion was silent in space, but bright like a second sun. The World Cleaver cracked down the middle. Its red energy exploded outward, lighting the orbit in a glowing shockwave. Cheers erupted on every human channel. The weapon is down. The Iron Souls did it! Earth is safe for now. Zane landed back on Freedom Blade. His armor was scratched, his breathing heavy. But he smiled. Isla hugged him. We did it, Danya laughed. Not bad for 3 rebels with jetpacks. Captain Voss walked up. The enemy's losing grip. You gave Earth something more powerful than weapons. Zane tilted his head. What's that? Hope. But, far above in the alien mothership, the commander stared at the burning wreck of the World Cleaver. He didn't shout. He didn't curse. He just turned to his officers and said, Then we send her. The room went silent. One alien whispered in fear, You mean the Hollow Queen? The commander nodded. Earth will not survive her wrath. Later that night, back on Earth, Zane stood on a cliff. He looked at the stars, still glowing from the battle. We stopped one weapon, Lena said, walking up behind him. He nodded. And woke up something worse. What now? He took a breath. Now we prepare, because the real war is about to begin. The skies above Earth were calm. After the great battle, the World Cleaver was gone. The human fleet had returned. The people were cheering, but peace never lasts in war. Deep in space, far beyond any light, a door opened. From it came something ancient, something forgotten by even the stars. A ship, black, sharp like bone, slid through the void. Inside it, sitting on a dark throne, was the last weapon of the alien empire. Not a machine, not a soldier, but a monster. The Hollow Queen. She had no face, no eyes, just a metal crown and silver robes. Her voice was a whisper in all minds. Earth thinks it is free. Let them see what real fear looks like. She raised one hand. A swarm of new ships, fast, silent, deadly, launched toward Earth. On Earth, Archive detected the disturbance. New threat approaching. Class Omega. Entity identified. Hollow Queen. Lena's face turned pale. Shil Rafik said. She's a myth. A ghost story. Zain stood up. She's coming, and we're the ones she wants. Captain Voss walked into the room. Then we face her. Within hours, the skies darkened again. Not from clouds, but from ships. Black ships. They didn't fire, they just hovered, watching. And then a message played on every screen, in every mind. I am the Hollow Queen. I offer one mercy, kneel or burn. The people of Earth froze. Some wanted to give up. Others cried. But Zain stepped forward and spoke to the world. We've been chained before, but we broke those chains. We will not kneel. We will never kneel. The final battle began. Alien ships rained down. The skies burned red. But Earth was ready. The human fleet fought back with new strength. Iron Souls, now more than a dozen, led the charge. Zain, Isla, Danya, and others moved like fire, fast, fearless, unbreakable, Archive-controlled defense drones across the planet. Even the people, old, young, farmers, students, fought with what they had, because this was their world. In orbit, Zain boarded the Queen's ship with a final strike team. The ship was cold and silent inside. Black walls pulsed like living veins. Ela walked beside him. She's waiting for us. Zain nodded. Let her wait. They reached the throne room. The Hollow Queen sat still. Her voice echoed without sound. You are nothing but sparks in the dark. Zain stepped forward. Then we'll be the fire that burns you. She lifted her hand, and their minds filled with pain, memories, fears, regrets, all at once. But Zain had faced the Mind Reaper. He had learned to fight from the inside. He pushed back, his armor glowed bright. Isla and the others stood tall. Together they charged. The battle was fast and brutal. Zain and the Queen fought hand to hand. Metal clashed. Sparks flew. Her blade cut deep, but Zain did not fall. Isla shot her crown, shattering it. The Queen screamed, a sound like breaking glass. Zain activated his iron core. For Earth. He punched her chest, right into her power source. The Hollow Queen exploded in white light. The ship cracked. Zain carried Isla and the others out just in time. Captain Voss's ship caught them before the wreckage fell. The Queen's army shut down. Her fleet collapsed. And for the first time in decades, Earth was truly free. Back on the ground, people danced in the streets. The skies were clear. Children pointed at stars, not weapons. Zain stood on a cliff with Isla. She asked, Is it over? Zain looked up. For now. But we're ready, she said. He smiled. We're not just survivors anymore. We're protectors. We're the fire.